trust is not only the most important thing to have for a healthy relationship, but it's also a very crucial element for developing greater levels of rapport with your woman, especially when you want to turn up the heat and want her to open up to you sexually. It's a proven psychological fact as well as common sense that in order for a woman to open up to anyone sexually, she needs to like and trust the guy enough to know that yeah, this guy won't leak her private pics or sex chats to the outside world. So, if you want to build that kind of trust with your targeted woman, then you should pay very close attention to this video, because right now I will share not just one, but 3 strategies that you can use to increase that level of trust with any woman you want. Using these strategies, you will be able to build a strong relationship where she would be comfortable enough to talk to you about anything and share everything with you as well. But I have just one request before moving forward, and that is that if a girl shares her private pics with you, then please keep them with yourself alone and never leak it to anyone else. Not only it's illegal, but it's also a very bad thing to do. So, please use these techniques responsibly like a true gentleman. Like and subscribe right now, and let's begin. Now, here are the techniques. Number 1. Increase the frequency of talking. It's natural that you would trust someone you talk regularly more than someone you talk rarely. Everyone would trust someone they know for a long time instead of someone they just met. So you see, the more conversations you have with your targeted woman, the higher will the trust level rise. The key here is to keep indulging in positive, upbeat conversations with your girl on a regular basis. And the challenge is to find topics of conversation and keep it going for a long time. And in order to overcome that challenge, you would have to use the concept of conversation avenues that I mentioned in my video on how to keep a conversation going with a girl. So, do check out that video by clicking on the I button above after you watch this one. Now, let's move on to the second technique. Number 2. Lining up common interests. Consider this example. You like to play golf, you support political party A, and you like dogs. But you meet a guy who absolutely hates golf, dislikes political party A, and supports its rival. And to make matters even worse, this guy hates dogs and is almost fearful of them. Would you trust such a guy with anything, even if it's just a single penny? Absolutely not, because your interests don't line up with his interests, and you both might be chill dudes in real life, and he might be a sincere guy as well, but since his likes and dislikes are totally opposite of yours, you both have no interest in common. You just won't develop any level of trust with the guy. In fact, you might have 2 people trusting each other really well, but that trust and rapport gets shattered right away when both find out that one supports Trump and the other supports Biden. So you see, lining up common interests is very important in each and every kind of a relationship, especially a romantic one, because that is a relationship that evolves into a lifelong commitment. Therefore, it's crucial that you line up your interests with that of the woman, and also try finding someone with a similar political interest, because politics is a non-compromisable, sensitive topic for many people. Your relationship won't last long if the girl you date hates your favorite political leader. With that said, what you actually have to do is to line up your normal basic interests with her interests. For example, if she really likes to eat spaghetti, then you line up that interest by saying something like, "Oh, that's great, I also like spaghetti a lot, especially the classic ones like aglio olio, el pomodoro, and cashew pepe." Then she would reply with something like, "Really? Yeah, the classic ones are really good as well." Then you say, "Yup, but the American versions like spaghetti with meatballs also taste good, if they are cooked well without ketchup." Then she can say, "Yeah, ketchup on spaghetti sucks." Then reply, "I know, who even likes that?" Then she might say, "Yeah, people who like that are really crazy." Then you can say, "Yup, but at least we aren't. In fact, we are very much alike in this sense." And here you go. You showed your interest in her interest, and this way you built a higher level of rapport with her by making her believe that you are the same as her and you both have similar interests. After this, you just rinse and repeat it with other basic things like favorite TV shows, favorite actors, singers, etc. But just don't overdo it and keep it casual. Now, let's move on to the next one, which is number 3, using storytelling sequences. One of the best ways of building instant trust and rapport with someone is by telling them a story about yourself that paint you in a favorable light. In fact, this is called propaganda storytelling, something very common in the political world used by all the major world leaders to dictate public opinion. You might hear stories about how leader A saved a puppy from drowning, or how leader B helped a disabled child to get free college education, or how a leader C managed to overcome financial challenges in his childhood and become president even after being from a lower middle class struggling family. Almost all those fancy stories are either fake or dramatized to fit a narrative of how great and kind the politician is. What you have to do is to use these same techniques at your level. You just have to fabricate a believable story about yourself doing a great thing. Now, it's better that you actually do good things, but even then, you still have to dramatize the details a little bit to fit the narrative. Here is an example of what you can say. Speaking of puppies, one day when I was living with my parents as a teenager, I found a really cute puppy shivering in the street. I walked up to him and saw a big bite mark on his leg, which was most likely from a bigger dog that hit him. I immediately took him in and rushed to the bathroom to wash off the wound and disinfect him. Wait for her to reply, and she can say something like, "Really? That's so sweet. The poor baby must have been so scared." Then continue saying, "Yeah, he was, but I managed to calm him down and gave him first aid. I then fed him some leftover meatballs and rushed to the doctor." Then stop, let her respond. When she says, "Oh, that's so great, what did the doctor say?" Then continue, "Well, luckily, the wounds were not that serious, but he was weak, so the doctor dripped him with glucose. I also got him vaccinated and went on to find a forever home for him with my friends. Also built a temporary shed for him in my yard." Then she might say, "Oh, that's so amazing, did he find a home?" Then say, "Well, not exactly, but me and my friends managed to contact a registered NGO and gave him to them. Few months later, we found that the shelter owner adopted the puppy himself. This was way back when I was 16, so I don't know about now, but yeah, this was one of the many memorable things that I did as a teenager." See the impact? Such a story immediately puts you in the most trustworthy guy on the planet list. You can be creative and come up with hundreds of such stories about you helping someone in need, be it a granny who can't cross a street or a child who got left out at the park. Just make it believable and never over-exaggerate. Now, if you want complete done-for-you story sets and templates just like this one, which you can use on any woman you like right away, then check out our Tactical Attraction Training Program. In our premium course, you will find not just one, but 100 plus different storytelling sequences in 15 different categories that you can use in any situation on any woman you like for building massive rapport, increasing your respect, and even sexually attracting her towards yourself. So, if you want to enroll, then click on the first link in the description right away, because that link will take you to a free webinar hosted by my friend Brandon, where he will introduce you to the ins and outs of the Tactical Attraction dating system and tell you about our benchmark strategy called the 3 magic word formula, which is so powerful that it would allow you to turn any woman into your own emotional slave within a short amount of time. So, don't wait. Check out the links in the description and change your dating life forever.